welcome to Fundamentals 2 workout bite number 3. This is a strength and range of motion workout. We're going to be focusing on both strength, but challenging your range of motion and flexibility. You don't have to do this workout in bare feet, but I think if you do, you'll be able to work some of those foot stabilizers a little bit better. What you're going to need is a space that is approximately about, 3 meters in length, because we're going to be doing some side shuffle type movements. So side shuffle, side to side, both warming up and starting to work a little bit of range here in a second. Good. Okay, now what I want you to do, if your flexibility permits, I want you to touch outside hand on the ground. Outside hand on the ground. As you're going into that lunge position, or sorry, that sumo squat position, your back is nice and flat. So from the side, we're looking back nice and flat, bum pushes back. If you can't quite get the full side shuffle distance that I am, just do as long as a range or distance that your room permits you. Good. Couple more. Legs are starting to work hard. There's our first minute down. Okay, moving on. Now what I would like you to do, we're going to change that side shuffle to slightly different movement. So I'm taking the hand away. And for those of you who are in any sort of athletic endeavor, this will help to teach you how to do an inside leg cut, which is different than an outside push cut. So what I would like you to do, at the end of one of your side shuffles, you're going to turn and just touch the ground and go into a lunge. Just hold that for 1 second. Come up as slowly as you need to on these first ones and switch over to the other side. I'm putting my back knee on the ground. Stand up, little shuffle, back knee goes on the ground. Standing up, little shuffle, back knee on the ground. We're going to do just a few more of these at a nice slow pace, making sure that you've got the range to be able to do this. If you don't, if you find this quite challenging, getting up and down off the ground, I want you to keep it at this pace. But if you can, I want you to step it up just a little bit. With my limited room space, you'll see I have to do really small little side shuffles. But I'm doing a little side shuffle and touch the ground. And we're getting just a little bit of a stretch, working that full deep lunge, but I'm getting a tiny bit of cardiovascular work and some strength work in that front leg. It doesn't matter which hand you touch down, both one, front or back. Good work, guys. Okay, so I promised you this would help teach you how to do that inside leg cut. We're going to get rid of the touchdown, but I want you to still focus on planting through that inside leg. Weight on that inside leg. And this, what we're doing here now, is a basic movement pattern that can teach you how to do an inside leg cut, which is different than an outside leg cut. But if you don't do any sports, that's no problem. We're still working the legs. And we're working a little bit of the cardiovascular system. Let's do 2 more. Last one. There we go. Okay, quads are burning. I want you to balance on one foot. Grab the shoelaces, if you had them, of the back leg. And I want you to hinge forward. 5 times. 2. Try to make sure this knee stays right underneath the hip. 3, 4, 5. Switching sides. 1, 2, 3. So this first set, I'm not going too deep. In a second, we're going to do some sumo squats to stands. And then the next set of these quad movements, quad stretch, I'm going to challenge you to touch the ground if you can. Okay, feet straight ahead. I can angle them out just slightly. Relatively wide stance. I want you to try to squat down and grab your toes. I'm using my elbows to push my knees out And then I'm going to drop my head down, lift up, and I'm going to feel a nice stretch at the back of my hamstrings. I'm going to squat down, press my knees out with my elbows, nice flat back, and come back up. I'm going to do 20 of these. From the side, in a second, I'll show you what it looks like. You just want to make sure when your bum is low, you're trying to get as low as you can, and your back stays flat. Down and up. There, flat back. And then you get a nice stretch in your hamstrings. Do 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Flat back there. Try to drop the bum as low as you can. Little shoulder blade slide at the bottom. Working the groin here, working your quads. 2 more. Last one, nice flat back at the bottom, getting your bum as low as possible. Last one. Okay, back up into the balanced quad stretch. So grab an ankle. This time, if you can, try to touch all the way down to the ground. Don't overdo it though. If you can't make the ground, stay within the movement pattern that I was just showing you before. Woo! Little balance check there. If you are bringing your hand down to a slightly elevated surface, that also helps with your balance. So if you're really challenged with the balance here, maybe put the chair underneath your hand. And switch sides. Really feel my ankle stabilizers working there. Try to keep this knee again in line with that hip. Heart rate gets a chance to come down. Okay, we're going to shift gears here in just a second. And we're going to do some hand release push-ups and some inchworms. So a little bit of strength in the upper body, both the chest and then your back stabilizers will work a little bit here. And then we're going to aim to get a nice stretch up the back of the hamstring and calves again. So hand release push-ups. Chest goes right down to the ground. Set the shoulders. You lift your hands up. You're going to do a push-up. Walk back into a nice down dog. Bum is back. And now this time, 2 push-ups. 1, release those hands right off. Squeeze the shoulder blades when you come back up. Hold for 2 this time. 1, 2, pushing under the heels of your hands when you're in that down dog position. 3, 2, 3. So notice what I'm doing. I'm adding 1 repetition to each one of the push-ups every time, and I hold for the equivalent count in my down dog. Or my inchworm, whatever you want to call it. 2, hand release push-ups. Chest all the way down. Now if you're finding this too difficult, you can do these from your knees. If you can, from your toes, please. But if you're finding it too difficult, you can do it from your knees. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, last one, 5, and come back up, and good stretch here. Okay, moving into our next movement. What I would like you to do is to get back into that push-up position. I want you to bring one leg on either side of those hands, or on one side of those hands, I should say. Drop the knee down. So I'm going to show you a start level here, and then if you find it's too easy, I'll give you the more advanced level. Back into a push-up, switch sides. Drop the knee down, shoulders slide back, and switch. So here we're pushing the range of motion again through, a little bit through the groin, back hip flexor, front hamstring. So I'm just shifting side to side, back toe. I prefer the toe stays flipped under. Oh, shoulder blade slide there. I release my hands at the top of the movement. Okay, now option. Stay right where I am, or if you want, you can take it so that the back knee does not go on the ground, and make your upper body triceps work a little bit harder here. Good job. 2 more. Okay, so let's everyone go back to the knee position. Knee is down. Then you're going to do a spine twist as well. So I'm planting off that inside hand and twist. Inside hand goes down, I switch. So now we're doing that same movement, but now I'm adding a spine twist. And twist. And switch. Again, if you want to advance this movement, you get rid of the knee on the ground and you take it to that back knee staying off. Push that twist, open up through that chest. Good job. Let's go 4 more, whichever version you want, knee down or knee up. Last one. All right, slide that back leg forward. So we're going to move on to a glute movement here. So I'm going to encourage you, if you want, to get a chair ready. You may or may not need this. And what we're going to do here is you're going to do a glute stretch. So you support on one leg. We're doing all one leg first. So a glute stretch across the ankle over the leg. I drop back into a glute stretch. Then I'm going to release and I'm going to reach into a balanced pose here. I'm reaching through that back heel. Squeeze through the support leg to come back up and back into that glute stretch. So as you can see, the chair is optional, but it's there if you need it for your balance. So we're going to start and do 1 minute on each leg. Reach. By the time you're done this set, you should be feeling it in this support leg. And then ideally, you're getting a nice stretch in this glute. So 1 minute is pretty challenging. If you feel your low back at all, or you find that you just can't hold the stability, go ahead and shorten up the set. 1 minute's probably going to be about 20 reps a side. You may only be ready for about 10 to 12. So if you find that you're challenged by this full minute, then just stay in the seated glute position and just do repeat seated glutes. So just repeating this position. But if you can, stay with me, and you're doing a full reach, sit into the glute. When we switch sides, it'll feel so good in this opposite side when we do the glute stretch. There we go, switching sides. So crossing, opposite ankle over. There's a nice stretch through there. I'm going to focus on working the opposite glute. Core nice and tight. Glute stretch. Chair optional. Reaching. Think about reaching the fingertips forward and the back heel back. Reach. So this part we're focusing stretch. This part we're focusing on stability and strength. Core stays in tight. Notice I've got a little bit of a soft bend in the left leg. If you need to, again, you're using that chair for support to help you with this movement. Squeezing through the support leg to pull yourself back up. It's good for that little balance check. Should be just about done almost on this one side. Make sure your support leg, this knee is tracking over the toe, last one right here. Okay, let's move that chair out of the way. Now we're going to go down to doing a little bit of more adductor work. And what I would like you to do is you're going to open up your legs into a bit of a straddle position. I want you to walk your fingertips forward as far as you can. How far your straddle is depends on you. Might be nice and close, might be pretty far if you've got the flexibility. We're going to reach 5 times, forward, 2, sorry, that's 3, 4, and then we're going to rock back into a little bit of a ball. And we're going to do little rock and rolls 3 times, 2, and on the third one, you're going to come back up into that straddle and reach forward. Why are we doing those ball rocks? It's going to get you ready for a movement that we do in the advanced workout version of this. And go back one more time and use that little ball rock. If you can, try to make it feel you're really curving that spine, you're pulling that belly button in nice and tight, and you're trying to have a nice smooth motion here. That takes a lot of core control. Okay, a little bit of an add-on here, a little bit of abdominal work. I want you to put your hands back, set your shoulders. I want you to tap your heels back and forth, as if you're trying to lift your heels over top of a small object, pulling the belly button in tight. We're doing 20 of these. By the end, you should feel your core. If you feel your hip flexors, so at the front of your hips predominantly, just take a little break and then reset and start again. If you feel your low back, please stop. I'm only doing 20, so then you can join us for the next movement. Let's go. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Open back up into that straddle stretch. And do 5 of these in a row. Reach forward. Straddle stretch. Reach forward. Into a straddle stretch. You might be finding that you can go a little bit further this time. Okay, once again, into that little abdominal movement. Shoulders are set back a little bit if you can. If you find this too easy, go ahead and try a straight leg. But again, caveat, if you feel your hip flexors mainly, I'd rather you do bent knee. And I find with the bent knee, you really work on pulling that belly button in nice and tight. 10 to go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, almost done. 3, 2, 1. Flip over on your stomach. Eyes. So stay flat down, pull the belly button in tight, set the shoulders down and back, and you're just hovering slightly off the ground. So if you've done some of my other videos, or if you worked out at PI, you know what a floor flattener is, or a wall flattener. This is a prone floor flattener. Shoulders are sitting down and back. I'm squeezing my shoulder blades into my body. The idea is not to lift up super high off the ground, but to imagine that you're long. Head is reaching away from your toes. Keep pulling that belly button up. Make sure the shoulders are sliding away from the ears. We're going until we hear that beep again. So it'll probably be about 30 repetitions. If you need to take a break, you can. That's it. Keep it going all the way through. Second to last exercise this is, and the very last one is just a really nice, good, deep hip flexor quad stretch. Come on, timer, when are you going to beep? There it is. Okay, push back into a little bit of a cat stretch. Walk to one side, and then the other. Okay, so for this last stretch, you may want to put a little bit of padding underneath your foot. What I would like you to do is you're going to get yourself right up against a wall. You're going to place your knee relatively close to the wall. So if you can see what I'm doing, I've got one foot up against the wall, knee close to the wall, but I'm not right on top of the kneecap. I'm kind of on the right here on the front side of that knee. Use your hands to bring your body up. Now for some of you, that's going to be it. That's where you're going to stay. If you find that you can go a little bit deeper in the stretch, then you can push yourself up onto the quad. And we're just going to do this one deep stretch on either side, and then you're done for the day. So we'll have to double check how I did on timing. I think probably 15 or 16 minutes. So hopefully you like that workout. Totally different. Again, the focus is, because of these workout bites, you're not quite getting as much focus on stretching range of motion as I would like if you're just doing these. So this workout kind of combined a little bit of strength, but pushed your range of motion in a dynamic manner. Almost done on this side. Go back so that both hands are on the ground, and just work to now push your hips forward. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to angle this hip down and forward. Trying to take any pressure off my low back that you felt if you lifted yourself up. 3, 2, 1, and slowly get yourself out of that stretch. And other foot goes up the wall. Again, not right on top of the kneecap, please, right kind of on the front. Lift your foot forward. Hands stay down if you need to. If that's an intense stretch, stay right there. Otherwise, if you can, you're popping your body up. Again, if you feel once you're up, if it feels too intense and your muscles are gripping rather than relaxing into the movement, don't be afraid to go back down if you can. And you can play around with this stretch. If you don't feel enough of a pull, you can try to push your bum back towards that heel, lifting up a little bit taller. Try to make sure, playing around with your hips too, making sure your hips are at the best angle to give yourself a good stretch and making sure they're relatively level. And in about 3 seconds, let's have everyone take it back down so hands are down. And now what I want you to do is you're pushing your hips down and forward. So I'm aiming to angle that hip flexor down and forward. I'm kind of tractioning forward as well. So I'm pulling my hands forward, traction that hip. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're done. I hope you enjoyed that workout. Look forward to seeing you again for another workout. Take care.